Good evening, cyber friends. This is Mitty Man coming back at you from Walker's Music. Get another word for the day. We want to give God all the praise and glory. All the honor belong to Him. We also thank God for each and every one of you. We'd like to say first and foremost, on top of everything, that we on another new year of the Bible study, a blog talk radio, and I must say that it got off to a pretty good start. As a matter of fact, I was speaking with Brother JT and Sister Lady D on last evening, and we are taking a journey through the book of Daniel, and it's also we're going to be touching on Revelations as well as the harmony of the Gospels. But tonight I came back to say a few things. As you see my title, I got a very interesting title tonight, but I have it for a reason, people, and it's called the EMP bomb. Now, and I got in parentheses electromagnetic pulse. That's the type of bomb this here weapon is. First of all, I'd like to give a little brief reason of why I'm doing this video. Number one is because of the fact that this term electromagnetic pulse is not new to me at all. And those of you that ever played any army games or war games should know, may already know this. But about 10 years ago, maybe more, probably a little bit more, I believe, right around 2000, I believe it was, somewhere around the turn of this here new millennium we in, there was a game that came out called Command and Conquer, CNC Generals. I bought this game, and a friend of mine in Canada, we used to play it online all the time. We would hook up remotely with each other, and we'd do it over the internet, and we'll play head to head. And with this game, it's been a while now since I played it, but if I'm not mistaken, you could be like one of three superpowers. You could either be the Islamic nation, and you could be in the Islamic nations, or you could be the Russians, or the American. I think those were the three major world powers that the game represented. But it was very interesting because when I saw this here, the media use the term when it came to this new dictator in North Korea, Kim Jong. I think I said that right. If I didn't, you know who I'm talking about. They were speaking of the EMP bomb that they supposedly already have, and they obtained it from the Russians. I don't know this for certain. The only thing I'm relaying you is what the media have said. But I know for a fact, people, that the EMP bomb, let me first explain it to you from the way they explained it and the way the thing works inside the game Generals. Inside the game Generals, and if I'm not mistaken, I think the only someone that had the EMP, I think the Russian ally had the EMP, and I know the Americans had the EMP. I'm not for certain about the Islamic power. I'm not sure they had that technology of a super weapon. Their super weapon was a Scud storm. That was their super weapon, and the Russians and the Americans had the Scud, not the Scud, but the EMP, and also a particle counter. The Americans had the particle counter as well as a nuke. And if I'm not mistaken, I'm not for certain that the Islamic had the nuclear power, but they probably did. I'm not for certain that. It's been a while since I played the game. But at any rate, people, let me explain something to you, the one that may not know. Now, to you that already know this, don't worry about it. But I'm talking to the one that doesn't know about this technology. The way this EMP, and I'm just going to give you a very, very brief summary of the way this thing works. What it does, in a nutshell, it just tears up electronics. That's all it does. It tears up electronics. Anything copper, it melts it down. Now, the reason in the game, whenever you had to build up so much your technology, and before you could build a super weapon, you had to do so many other things in the game. Then you will obtain the super weapon status. Then you could build your EMP or your nuclear bomb, and you can target it to destruct your enemy in so many minutes or whatnot. But let me tell you what that EMP did. The enemy shot the EMP on your base, and it crippled your whole base. You couldn't move anything. Nothing. You couldn't move anything. Well, people, guess what? That's exactly what this EMP bomb does. It will cripple our whole nation. If Kim got a bomb, believe me, they're going to use it. If any of them got it, they're going to use it, people. Just use your head. Now, I'm just going to say it like this. If they shoot that bomb in our atmosphere, it'll be in the atmosphere. It doesn't have to come to the ground. They're going to explode it in the atmosphere over us, in this nation. It will cripple our electronic grid. It will cripple everything in America. We couldn't run no computers, with no automobiles run, nothing electronic that was electronic would work. People, that would shut us down cold. Now, many man's question to our government is, what are we doing about it? Are we just going to sit around here and wait until some fool decides to use that EMP bomb? Or are we going to set up and get our technology people working, get our engineers working to find an alternate source of power so we could power our grid in case some fool use this bomb? Because you know for just as well as I do, if they got it, they're going to use it. The matter is not a matter of if, but when. They're going to use it. What we need to be doing is countering. We need to be seeing what alternate power sources we could use and we can build and we can shift to quickly in case of an emergency. That's what we need to be worrying ourselves about right about now, instead of be arguing over shutting down the government. We better be trying to figure out how to get things to running again if these fools decide to use this EMP bomb. Now that's Middleman take on it, and I just throwed it out there. You know, you can do with it what you want. But to all of you that does not know this, I'm telling you, yes, it is possible. Because of the fact that this thing came out in the game first. Now I'm quite sure that this was already in the mind of some of the great physical science minds and nuclear physics minds. I'm quite sure this technology probably been floating around for a long time, even before it got in this game. But this EMP was first introduced in this game called Generals. And if anybody don't believe me, go check it out. Command & Conquer CNC Generals. And you will see where they had that EMP technology built into that game. And you can see exactly what it will do to your enemy base or any territory. Anything electronic will stop working. That's the technology behind it. So now people, this is why I am doing my Bible study, to try to wake everybody up. And that's why I talked to Brother JT and Lady D the other night. I'm going to be dealing with Daniel and the Revelation as well as the harmony of the Gospels, perhaps for the first 6 months of this year. Maybe longer if it takes it. We got to do this thing. We got to sound the trumpet to let the people be aware of what's going on. And you know, really and truly what Jesus has said, you can't change it. This thing is going to be. But I'm just saying, we don't have to be totally helpless about this thing. And if they got this technology, they're going to use it. It's not a matter of if, but when. They're going to use it. So we need to get our resources together, get all our various scientific minds and put them all together. And we need to be coming up with a way that we can change that power grid in a moment's notice, just in case we have to. Because now, if we know that this EMP can shut down the grid like that, look like to me, with all decency and common sense, we should be letting our government know that we need to be trying to find a way to counter this thing. Or at least have an alternative measure, take an alternative measure, in other words, so we won't be completely helpless in case of this here disaster. This is many man saying whatever you get or whatever you get into, if God is not in it, best you come out of it, people. This Middleman saying peace, have a good weekend, and remember, be careful out there. The life you save may very well be your own. This Middleman saying peace, good night.